Like sometimes they say, "Oh, Prabhu, can you serve out the Sunday feast?" I really learned a big lesson once. We went to Gaudiya Math, because every year the Krishna Balaram temple would go to the Gaudiya Math in Mathura for 2 or 3 functions a year. And some of the leaders and members of that temple would come to our temple also. But by and by, with the influence of the time factor, that program came to halt, no longer happened. What I recount is this. When I went there, there was a huge feast of Mahaprasad after there was a parade through the town and mutual kirtan parties and all these things. So when the feast was served out, it was served out by all the sannyasis in the temple. And I inquired, I said, why are the sannyasis? And the sannyasi in charge said, this is the most exalted service. There's no higher or greater or more exalted service than serving Vaishnavas. And of all the services to Vaishnavas, the greatest service to Vaishnavas is to give them prasadam, because this is the truest and most intimate expression of pure love. To give the food that you cook with your hand to another devotee. There's no greater expression of pure love, because we already said the greatest love is the expression of the manjaris serving from their hand to Radha and Krishna's hand. The manjaris sew a beautiful flower garland, and they say, oh, my Radharani, please give this to your Krishna. Prabhupada said that in New York. He said the devotee picks a flower, and then he says, oh Radharani, oh Radharani. Early days, as I mentioned to you the other day, the lectures from 66 to 69 are the best. So sweet, so much Braj mood. So the devotee walks down the street and sees a very fresh flower, smelling nice. He picks a flower and he goes to the temple and he offers it to Radharani. He says, oh Radharani, please give this flower to your Krishna. So Prabhupada was teaching us from 1966, Manjari Bhav, if you see it that way. Atmanam manyate jagat. Atmanam manyate jagat. The Atma, he considers the jagat. Manyate means he thinks about, or he thinks of the jagat in terms of his own position. So if the Atma is joyful and peaceful and blissful and totally in union with his maker, so to speak, then he is very carefree and even careless for sometimes.